Steve, thanks for giving me a couple minutes today.
You bet.
I want to introduce you to my favorite product. It's a product that I sell more of than anything else, and it's called Does It All. Now, on the can, it says that we do 5 things. We do a lot more than 5. First thing it does is that it loosens rusty nuts and bolts. I know, big deal. Number 3 says that we are a lubricant and a penetrant. And number 5 says that we prevent rust and corrosion. So right off the bat, you might be thinking to yourself 2 things. Number 1, this guy doesn't know how to count. What happened to 2 and 4? We'll get to that. And number 2, you might be thinking to yourself, all right, come on, Bart, don't waste my time. I can go to the store and get WD-40. I'm going to show you in the next 5 or 6 minutes how we are WD-40 on steroids. Now, number 4 says that we improve electrical properties and electrical connections. We're going to talk about that. And number 2 says that we displace and seal out moisture. Probably the most important one that we're going to talk about today. 2 and 4.
Very nice.
Owner of our company loves to joke that WD didn't screw it up on 39 formulas. They screwed it up on all 40. Why? Tell me where WD-40 is sitting right now.
Oh, it's floating on the top.
It's floating on the top. How can you be a true water displacement if you can't even penetrate the surface of the water? So, we take just a little bit of Does It All, and you'll notice how we immediately get down below the surface of the water. We are 22% heavier than water. So right off the bat, just as a lubricant, just as a penetrant, we're going to do a better job than your WD-40s, than your PB blasters, and most of your commercial-based products. But that's not what we're known for. We are chemically formulated to bond ourselves to metal. When we bond ourselves to metal, Steve, water, moisture, humidity, it doesn't touch the metal. It forms a very microfilm layer on that metal. When water doesn't touch metal, 2 things happen. Well, actually, 2 things can't happen. The first one's pretty obvious. People think about it right off the bat. Rust and corrosion can't occur because the water does not oxidize the metal. But there's a second thing that occurs that people don't think about as much. Electricity will not flow from the metal through the water into me. All I do is I take a little bit of Does It All, and you don't need a lot. You're going to notice how very little I actually use, and I bond Does It All to the metal. That's it. You're going to notice that water and product are actually dripping off, because as soon as Does It All touches the metal, it bonds to the metal, and everything else comes off of it. In an indoor setting, like where we're standing right now, Does It All stays bonded to metal for 6 to 12 months, which means you're only spraying it once, maybe twice a year. I'm not going to respray my light socket. And you'll notice, there we go. And you'll notice no shock. Now, in an outdoor setting, your shop, for example, wind, rain, snow, ice, central Illinois, Missouri humidity, Does It All will still stay bonded for 3 to 6 months without having to be resprayed. So I'm not going to respray my light socket. And we know that this should not light. But when we say that we displace moisture, we have bonded ourselves to the metal inside the light bulb, inside the light socket, we bond to the metal, and the water does not touch it. The metal doesn't even know the water is there. And it's not a trick extension cord. I fill up my socket completely with water. Come on, get in there. And the extension cord still works. Underwater, above water, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's talk about real-world applications. How do over 200 of my clients use this product? First and foremost, what you've seen today, electrical outlets. Indoor and outdoor, it doesn't matter. Whether wind gets in there, rain gets in there, humidity gets in there, we bond ourselves to that. Light sockets, light bulbs, ballasts. I'm not suggesting that you go out and that you go change every light bulb and spray them. But when you do change a light bulb, spray a little bit of Does It All in there, moisture, humidity doesn't get in there. But we go beyond that as well. Squeaky doors, squeaky chairs, truck beds. I know your office and your warehouse have no squeaky doors at all to them, but you take Does It All out there and it stays bonded for a long time. But we go beyond that as well. One of the favorite applications that I love telling people about are tools. People don't think about their tools. They go out, they get a tool. Hopefully it lasts 10, 15 years. Hopefully it doesn't walk out of the shop before then, but it rusts and it corrodes. You take a little bit of Does-It-All and you spray Does-It-All onto a tool, a pliers, a wrench, a channel lock. Could be a vise or a jack. You spray it on there. Not only do we stay bonded to the metal, but because we are 22% heavier than water, we get below that surface rust. So when you spray an old pair of pliers, you're going to see brown and black gunk. Gunk is an official name for it, just dripping right off. That's the dirt, the grease, the grime. All of that is just coming right off. And when that comes off, we then stay bonded to the metal, so future dirt, grease, and grime don't stick. Oh, by the way, future rust and corrosion won't occur as well. So your tools now last longer, and because they're better lubricated, they work better.